That's not the one we called up, is it? Looks. Oops. This is good. How's this for footage? He got crazy, ain't he? Whew. Made it back. Man. Went on quite the road trip today. I went up and saw my friend Michelle. Remember Michelle? I shared her GoFundMe. She is going through her cancer treatments. And she's doing pretty good. She's a positive person, right? Although she's been through hell and back about 50 times. And it was really good to catch up with her. So I brought her one of our home-raised chickens, and brought a whole bunch of moose and elk meat and sausages and stuff, game meat sausages, a bunch of healthy stuff, and met up with her. It's good visit. She gave me the biggest, tightest hug ever, and enough hug to pass out to all you people that were so kindly and generously helped her out. And she's trucking along. She's got to go get radiation or something in a little bit. Oh, it's just tough to see. It's tough to see people you care about, lifelong friends, in that predicament, right? It's tough, but she is a very bright light, a very positive person. Who knows, maybe we can help her again along her journey. But anyway, that's the update I've got for that. We didn't really touch base on how she's feeling how it's going, because you know what the battle is against, right? It's a tough one. So we talked about it. We got caught up, talked about a lot of positive things, and lots of laugh and smiles. So it was good, healthy visit. And let's keep our fingers crossed. She's a natural fighter. She's got a lot to live for. So anyway, I made it back. And last night, I think I didn't want to. Normally I sleep pretty good, but last night I flopped around like a frickin' pancake in the frying pan. Flopped over in bed till I think 3 a.m. or something. Couldn't fall asleep. Don't know why. But I did receive the email I was hoping to get before today. And I got it saying, yeah, go ahead and share everything that I thought would be worthy to share with the people. And as well, he firmly, adamantly said, you share my name. I'm like, okay. So yes, it is our friend Edgar Jenkins. And forgive me if I forget his title. I'd have to go back into one of the original emails from him. So it's either, what is he? He's a nuclear physicist, nuclear scientist, nuclear something. And no, he's not in North America right now, although he met his wife here. We lived in basically a few of the same towns. His wife is originally Canadian. No, his wife is originally from overseas as well, but they met here. And I won't get into too much about that. So, of course, as you all know, Edgar shared a lot. He shared a lot, including, he didn't email me looking to share either. He emailed me looking for some sort of something to help him out with his confusion, what he'd experienced, and to help bring him a little comfort and convince himself that he was still sane and not going insane. And We have had numerous emails back and forth. I've shared with you what he offered up to share with all of you up to date. He also shared some of the names of his colleagues from around the globe, scientists. And so you understand, what he got across to me quite clearly, easily, was the fact that today scientists are almost fair game. They're hunted in various countries, right? I know Putin is actively searching for and trying to come up with scientists in the Ukraine right now, as an example, an easy example. Why? Because of the bio weapons labs, laboratories they have when they go in Ukraine, and the scientists that are involved, right? And I'm not cracking open the Ukraine thing. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting at the fact that all scientists know that sometimes they can disappear quite commonly on the face of the earth. So it can be somewhat of a risk seeking to be a scientist today in today's world, right? It's not too hard to dig to find out how many scientists have been murdered in the last couple generations, for sure, right? Anyway, so knowing that, many of his colleagues are not stoked on coming forward with anything. And he knows people from around the world in various places and countries where he has worked all around nuclear energy, nuclear weapons silos, I believe. Nuclear energy. Let's call it all nuclear energy, all right? And these scientists who work in this field have had literally dozens of experiences with these beings around the globe. How amazing is that? He does have one or two that are willing to come forward and share with me. But obviously the majority of them, they are scared for their lives when it comes to not just this topic, but possibly many other topics that you may be involved with being a scientist today, right? Anyway, before I get babbling on that too much. So what's happened to Edgar? He's touched bases. I want to leave him alone. He promised to send me a lot of things that he's acquired over the years. And then, of course, started his battle with cancer. Go figure, right? And for me personally, I don't need too much for me when it comes to this topic. I need, what my personal puzzle is, I want truth about everything. All right, so what this topic has done for me personally is when I was slapped in the face with the reality of these beings, I instantly went to, okay, we're being lied to and misled. Why? And I've said that a dozen times. So I have been looking into the whys and the whats on numerous topics every single day. I'm digging every single day. And the odd time when I come across something that looks a little worthy for you to possibly look at and dig into, I'll share it. But just so you know, I am not stuck on the Sasquatch topic, although I have shared numerous times my feelings that this topic is one of the easiest ones to deliver publicly to prove that we are not being informed, honestly, of what's going on with our absolute reality of our existence on this planet, right? And of course, that rolls into me explaining why I'm frustrated with the past handfuls of people who have decided to stay stagnant and obsessed with this one topic, and footprints and dermal ridges, and fighting with each other and tearing each other down, trying to prove who's a hoaxer or not, going that absolute embarrassing shit show that many of us have been forced to watch if we've had any curiosity when it comes to this topic. You watch this absolute circus of idiots going in circles and circles and circles. They're a bunch of crabs in a bucket. They're pulling each other down. One tries to get a bucket, they just pull them down, and they keep that big quagmire shit show going in circles in that bucket, and they never leave. What do you need? Yeah, keep going. So anyway, got me off track there. I guess what I'm trying to get to all of you is I am after many, many more answers on many other topics, all right? But at the same time, I absolutely relate to the people who have had this reality slapped in their face and they didn't ask for it. I'm absolutely passionate about the natural world, the real world, the outdoors, conservation. And I have a burning need to help bring comfort to my fellow outdoors conservation, real life minded people. And that's what's going on this channel today. If you are one of the few that keep on thinking that this channel is about you and delivering something to you to prove to you something, well, sadly, you missed the message about 50,000 times. It's not about you. The stories being shared today and the past and the future days are all about the people who are sharing the stories and bringing them comfort and giving them a safe place to speak openly about what they didn't ask for, but they experienced. All right? I don't know why so many people out there miss that. Haven't a clue, but they miss a lot. I mean, let's face it, if you are still today jumping up and down, stomping your feet, demanding to see proof that this topic is authentic and real, you've missed the boat. You're probably not going to ever be able to pick it up, this topic, let alone many other topics. That's just the way it is, sadly. Another topic, don't have time for it right now, sorry. Rambling. Now, how do I deliver what I've received lately from our hero? I will call it Edgar a hero. Because his bravery, his honesty. Listen to this. This is, so I'll do it in sections here. So this is, I emailed Edgar again after he contacted me again. He shared some stuff, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. And then I read it all. He gave me that. He also included that on the community page of this channel. I posted up the document that he had in the attachment. And I just posted that up for you guys to read. And he shared up a bunch of other stuff with me. And then I was excited to hear from him. I'm glad he's alive. But getting back to him promising to send me other items. And then he would start battling cancer. Excuse me. And then I went on the tangent about me not being in too much need of what he has to offer. Although I appreciate it and I'm absolutely interested. What I'm trying to get at is I wasn't feeling compelled to get after him, to hurry up and send me what you got. Send me what you got. I didn't do that because out of respect for him, what he's going through. I mean, he was separated from his wife due to this COVID shit. Then he starts battling cancer. It's like, yeah, like he needs me nagging him while he's battling with cancer about getting me some of his transcripts and his information when it comes to these beings. It's like, whatever. Leave him be. Let him battle and stay focused on his family and his health. And if he comes back and wants to share with us, here we are, Edgar. We're all over it. So he came back and here we are. He did give me, I'm going to be rambling all over the place, you guys. I am so tired right now. Nothing scripted. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to say when I turn on the camera, ever. All right, you guys? So bear with me. He has given me the names and contacts of other scientists, not from North America, who have a shit pile of information on these beings. And I have it. And I will reach out to them and see if they would share with you through me. And I believe Edgar already said that one of them would for sure. Moving along. So he sent me a couple emails. I emailed him back, encouraging him to fight, saying, yeah, we would appreciate it if you just share more for sure. If you want to, I'm here. I gave him my physical mailing contact, so if he had to mail me anything physically. And I also offered him up. I offered up to Edgar for us to help him in any way. And he didn't, and he just emailed me back, didn't even acknowledge that I offered him up help, which I kind of had a funny feeling he wouldn't. But his wife has had her Canadian bank account seized because she donated a couple dollars to the Canadian protesters who were legally protesting about our freedoms, and she had her bank account frozen. And meanwhile, Edgar's been in a fierce battle with cancer. He's lost 90 pounds. And I'm like, what the fuck? It just makes me growl. I will stay away from that topic, but believe me, I'm on fire. And I offered up, I told Edgar, I said, hey, we have enough people here, and we have so much respect for Edgar, and we care about him, and I just said, we want, anyway, let me know. Let me know anything we can do to help you. Anything at all. And he just emailed me back, didn't even acknowledge that I made the offer. All right. I'm babbling. Let's get into this. So I'm going to start first off. So getting back to it, I emailed him. I said, hey man, P.S. blah, 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 gave my physical mailing contact, and I also said, am I allowed to share what you sent to me? Can I share that publicly? Is that your intent? Do you want me to share this or not? Because I do have some other people who are directly involved with nuclear facilities and arms and are in the military, and they contact me through a secure email, and they have said, absolutely, I can't share what they've shared with me. So sometimes that can get crossed up in my head, right? Because it's all the same, somewhat the same places in a way, same field. And I retain and I remember every single little tidbit that all these people share with me. And I got to make sure that I don't disrespect anybody by accident, getting it mixed up in my head, thinking it came from Edgar, but it didn't came from them. All right, hope I'm making sense, you guys. I'm a little tired. Now, so I would have assumed that Edgar would have wanted me to share everything with you guys. And I was going to share anyways after thinking about it. And then I thought, nope, I'll wait. I'll wait for his reply. And he doesn't reply right away. I don't think Edgar possibly even goes online. Except maybe on weekdays or something. And sure enough, he emailed me back the night before Monday. And then that was the night that I stayed awake till 3 in the morning too, digging in other topics and carrying on. So anyways, there we go. Sorry, guys, I'm rambling. This is the latest email. All right, I'm going to give this to you guys in different stages of receiving and sending. Hey, Steve. While I remember, please feel free to use anything I send you, and if you feel it's useful. I'm really at a stage these days where I don't give a damn in the main. I may forget to blank out names, not my own name, use that. But I trust you to use what you feel is worth sharing. People are still, I'm afraid, either treating this subject as a joke and very often being treated as a joke. That has to end with as much evidence and experience as we can get together in one place. Anyway, as promised, I've enclosed a study on how these creatures perceive light. I've enclosed the final 2 pages of a 20-plus page thesis carried out by a top-notch scientific mind. The first 20 pages are filled with data and calculations, etc. What I took from it is that the vision/sight of these things compares to nothing in the human or animal world. It may not be terribly exciting, but it answers a lot of questions. Bingo! For all you who are on the same page as me, it's all about the answers to questions, right? Now, he goes on to say, the same author has also completed an investigative thesis on what he calls dog-faced juveniles. That's due out shortly and should be very interesting. I do know never in any situation such as an attempted abduction of these beings has any violence been reported from them. Not the case with the dog faces, apparently. All the best as always. Take care, Edgar. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to back it up. Before I share that lengthy thesis, I'm going to back up to the original email where Edgar returned and got a hold of me. All right, now let me go back. Where are we? There's a lot here, you guys, all right? So be patient. Here we go. Hey, Steve, how are you doing? I'm trying to catch up on your videos. I spent pretty much most of my time in one hospital or another since November. I lost over 90 pounds. But since coming home 12 days ago, I put on 6 pounds. I'm told I'm in remission, and for the foreseeable future, I'm on monthly checks. So, fingers crossed. If all goes well, after 3 times 1 month check, I can go to 3 monthly. I now know what a prisoner feels like when released from jail. I'm hoping I can spend some part of the coming summer in Canada. I've got as far as seeing you have made the home move at last. Sincerely hope it works out wonderfully well. You deserve that for what you have given and are still giving to so many people worldwide. Our very best to you and Sarah from myself and Karen. Steve, Okay, I'll just keep sharing what he wrote. If I get to something that I don't feel needs to be shared, I won't share it, all right? Just only because it may be too personal, possibly. I do not withhold information from any of you ever. When I get a hold of it and I get the green light, I share every word for word. I don't touch nothing, okay, you guys? I do not decide. I've never decided, never will. Oh, I better not share that with them. All right, I don't do that. Steve, what in the hell is that effing idiot Trudeau doing to our country? I supported the truckers financially from here, so too the missus. So they're not in Canada right now. She used one of her Canadian accounts, Toronto Dominion, and as of now, her account with that bank is suspended. Biting my lip. She only found out when her card was declined in a grocery store. How on God's green earth can this be happening in Canada, of all places? Has that son of a bitch been taking lessons from his Cuban daddy's family? The vile, filthy, vicious narrative he used against fellow Canadians was a disgrace that I've never witnessed in the 74 years I've lived on this earth. Then, the martial law, war, powers, edict being used. In Canada, disgustingly vile. He's currently in the UK and being booed and laughed at everywhere. Camera's shutting off a couple times. Even many of the airport staff at Heathrow booed, then turned their backs on him as he walked with his entourage of guardians. Oh, sorry. Let me go back up in case you missed it. Then the martial law, war powers act, disgusting. He's currently in the UK being booed and laughed at everywhere he goes. Even many of the airport staff at Heathrow booed, then turned their backs on him as he walked by with his entourage of guardians. Anyway, a couple of snippets. Enclosed attachment. This may not mean a lot to most people, but it is really huge in that, in more than 2 decades and more, there is now an admission in writing of the actual existence of these beings. This will not be unique to our bunch. This can only have come from the highest levels of the US government. Even more, there is a partially redacted addition to this, indicating that anyone who was appointed in the past 12 months, along with new recruits, will be invited to a session/seminar to acclimatize and gain knowledge relating to juveniles and their behaviors, etc., with an expert in the knowledge and behavior of these creatures. Of course, if such a thing was needed, then any member of my team with a few years of experience would make the best expert possible. The simple fact is, he can be nothing more than a government employee, probably employed by another department relating to national parks or similar, who may have come close to these things a few times. To put it in perspective, I've personally had over 50 contacts, maybe more. And there are people in other teams with many more. Whoever this Mr. Moneymaker, probably a pseudonym, may be, I can think of at least 20 better people. Typical intergovernmental department interference. Either way, this is still a massive step forward in acknowledging the existence of these things, particularly with recent disclosure, with more to come, I'm told, regarding evidence of UFOs. Oops, sorry, the new word is AATIP, LOL. A couple of other things. This isn't stuff I normally have knowledge of, but it's widely known among military people and our department, and this one is pretty scary. Listen to this. November 9th, 2021, 2 of the largest missile silos, which we oversee. One at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, and another at Minot, M-I-N-O-T, Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, which between them house some 400 ICBM missiles. We're doing a full arming test, meaning our people were there, which is fairly routine, and simply means that every missile is fully armed, targeted, and fire ready for about 16 to 22 minutes. This is normal procedure relating to a state of readiness. During that short period, all systems go as checked, no fire codes are ever available. It normally can take about 40 minutes to get to full readiness. This is what I've been told, and I can stand 100% by the information, Steve. A series of lights were seen in the skies above both installations. The number was, quote, hundreds of them, end quote. When the final arming procedure was achieved, the entire banks were shut down. When a battery of lights illuminated by individual beams seemed to hit both silos from these unknown lights. Complete shutdown and loss of power happened inside of 12 seconds. Human control was only gradually recovered over an 18-hour time frame. A total of 8 juveniles were detected in the proximity, but had vanished/departed some 7 to 13 minutes prior to loss of control. I've heard of a similar incident to the above, but not on the scale of this one. The last time it happened was a few years back, and some 20 on-test missiles were shut down by lights from the night sky then, but nothing on the scale of this. Also scary was, every missile, all 400, took 18 bloody hours to get back online. Crazy. Electricity supply, however, was maintained. It was just a supply directly related to the missiles that was lost. All right, hold on. Don't be pushing the camera, right? Get out of here. Sorry. Finally. All right. I will now is. All right. This is, he mentions his son, where he is. I'm not going to share that. I'm only not going to share this paragraph because it mentions his son's name and where he is currently on the planet. All right. We don't need to know that. He also said to me, someone said that I should take a look at a site run by someone called David Paul Idis. I've done some searches, but I don't see another Bigfoot site with that name. Do you know of him or anything about him that is worth taking a look at? Right? Edgar's not in our world, right? Our social media world. He's not familiar with the people who have been wrangling up the Bigfoot Sasquatch topic. He's just not familiar. He's a scientist, a nuclear scientist, and he is definitely doesn't hang out in our circles too much, okay, guys, obviously. If he hasn't heard of Dave, there you go. So I filled him in on Dave. I got a bunch of stuff that I've sent to me relating to the beings, but I need to check them out for accuracy before I send them to you. One study that a senior colleague has sent me relates to how these creatures see the world they live in. If he's correct in his thesis, then it fully explains why these beings are rarely, if ever, caught by trail camera. I'll check it out and send you a precis of the findings. Okay, and any other stuff I've got if I can get confirmation. So Edgar's doing all the due diligence before he sends it over. Obviously, you guys know that I do not do too much due diligence in what's sent to me. I receive, I share with you, and I myself have confidence in everyone's gut instinct. I have confidence in everyone's intuition, and I want everyone to focus on their own gut instinct and intuition to come up with your own answers for your own puzzle. That's the key to leaping forward, you guys, all right? I'm not the guy who decides what you hear or read, okay? I am the messenger. The messenger that shoots back. All right, getting back to it. Edit. Steve, if I get you a government-issued Geiger counter, would you use it? I just noticed in one of your videos you came across an area while you were hunting with a client, I think, and it looked as if it had been trampled by a bloody elephant, with trees snapped like twigs, everything trampled in the undergrowth, etc. And guess what? This is very often found by our security people, often much worse than in your video. Whenever a prolonged chase is made after an entry is made by one or more of these things, we always, but always, find elevated levels of radiation and other high readings. If you come across something like this again, you can check the levels out yourself, then get the hell away from there if required. Many mineral radiations vanish fairly quickly, but immersing yourself by inspecting an area I saw you do in the video could be dangerous if it happens within a short time of you finding and inspecting it. How interesting is that? So getting into that comment from Edgar. Now, I hope it was Edgar, because this is where I haven't had time to go back in all my emails, you guys, right? But I don't think this is going to be breaking too much of a rule if this didn't come from Edgar. But if it wasn't Edgar, it was somebody else speaking to me directly, and they took the Geiger counter to the footprints inside the security perimeter of a nuclear, it was either missile silo or not, whatever. It was the military nuclear installation. This thing made it past all the security and made it to standing there looking up at the camera at them. Took the Geiger counter to the footprints. Radiation was read off of the footprints. Go figure. Must have been, I hope it was you, Edgar, that showed me or shared that with me earlier. This is over a year ago. We originally heard from Edgar too, right, you guys? Now, edit 2. Steve, I know you spend a lot of time in the bush. Some, if not all the places I see you... Sorry. I know you spend a lot of time in the bush. Some, if not all the places I see you, I don't recognize. Do you carry a PLC unit, personal locator beacon, on you? Seriously, if you don't, you really, caps lock, really need one ASAP. Best regards to you and Sarah. All right, so take note of this, you guys, that possibly, I know, Edgar, you're eventually going to be watching this video, okay, my man? And but for all you listening, take note of that. Edgar was not at all familiar with Dave Politis, okay, during this, typing this email out to me. And Edgar added on to the end of that email for me to get a personal locator beacon. How interesting is that? So Edgar, you're listening right now. When we speak again, make sure you throw down to me why you stressed that. Is it because of what happened to you when you were missing time after you've seen that Sasquatch looking at you and becoming transparent, and then you lost time just to keep everybody up to date, and then what happened? You came back, your clothing is rearranged on you, you didn't feel too good, you were way closer to your vehicle than when you first saw that being, when it was jumping up and down and it looked at you, and then your cell phone was getting rapid fire texts from, I think it was 36 countries. Welcome back to, as an example, welcome back to Portugal, welcome back to Italy, welcome back to Ukraine, welcome back to Sweden, welcome back to the United States. And his phone got rapid fire texts. Anyway, what I'm getting at, Edgar, too, is if that is why you come up with the personal locator beacon mention, understandable, or is it another reason? What else do you know? So what I'm getting at, what else do you know? Why were you compelled to try to urge me to get one of those locator beacons? And it's really got my curiosity because you were not familiar with David Politis while you were typing that to me. All right? I really want to know why you emphasized on that. And yes, I do have one. Okay? I got one. All right. Now, so what do I do with this? All right. So I'll show you guys, and this is the email. So you see it. This is the text. And there was the screenshot. And that was in the email that Edgar sent me. So instead of me reading this out, I threw this up on the community page of my channel. And you can go there and read it yourself. Should I read it to you guys right now? I don't know. I guess I could, but I got a bunch of other stuff I want to read. Maybe I will. All right. So this is a screenshot of something that came from USNRC. What is that? USNRC, United States Nuclear Regulatory Commissions, protecting people and the environment. All right. From Director of Field Operations, West, DIR-JT Fallein, Fallein, 25th of January 22. 2. As per senior list A3-/A5, West, N/S, American, Europe, Australasian. CC, nil. Class, top secret. DAR, reference, none. RE, juvenile reporting. People. In terms of continued reporting, please note, other than original media, be advised the effective immediately. No copies are permitted for retention for any reason. Original media only to be retained and must be submitted without any editing. No deviation from this is permitted under any circumstances. The working term juveniles is to be retained unless otherwise notified. No prior communications regarding incidents are to be permitted. Only submission of media is required henceforth. Discussion regarding the origin of these creatures is speculation. Please discontinue forthwith. Cryptid is incorrect. At least 3 American states designate these creatures as a protected species. None, however, have enshrined their beliefs in law. That these creatures exist remains unsaid and not admitted at every level of government. Only correct expression as a genesis of the being. Additionally, most intercooperative agencies that report clearly suggests an unknown but undoubted increase in populations worldwide. The description, otherworldly, clearly applies to the apparent offshoots of the creature, where population increase is also apparent. We will continue as per policy to refer to these also as juveniles, though I expect a subspecies classification to be made in time. Note, reporting remains paramount. Myself and others would be dismayed if anyone were to be found to have retained copies of any/all media other than the original. Denial of existence to any external source remains paramount. Expression of disbelief and humor remains the best option. I attach the full list of actions in addition to this general information note. Ensure you have followed and continue to follow all noted actions upon receipt. No acknowledgments, please. Observe. DAR. Strictly regards, Jim, DC. All right, there you go. Do with that what you will. Okay, guys? Now, moving along, and again, you want to read that yourself. That document is on the community page of my YouTube channel. All right? The factsbyhowtohunt.com YouTube channel. Now, let's get back up to another little chunk. All right? And again, this is about answering questions. Well, remember, got to get past. Okay, dog parent leave. Okay. Now, getting back to last night's email. So he emailed to me. Feel free to use anything he sends me if I feel it's useful, and as well to include his name. Bravo, Edgar. I hope this doesn't bring you any grief at home, man. Not that you couldn't really top the grief you're going through right now, could you? All right, here's the thesis from the, what do you call this person? Questions, what do you call it? What do you say this was? A top-notch scientific mind? Okay, here we go. Thesis, conclusions. So, given the foregoing, there are but a few conclusions that can be drawn from the evidence. A, given the final luminosity of maximum 4.5 lumens at a measured distance of 1.65 kilometers. Now remember, you guys, this is the last 2 pages of a 22-page report, okay? He said the first 20 pages was all, what did he say? You remember what he said. I already read it. What was it? Oh, sorry. I've enclosed a study on how these creatures perceive light. I've enclosed the final 2 pages of a 20-plus page thesis carried out by a top-notch scientific mind. All right, that's where we are. The first 20 pages are filled with data and calculations. All right, so probably put us to sleep. Here we go. So he's given us the meat of the whole thing in the last 2 pages of the thesis. I'll start again at the top. Why not? Because I'm all over the map tonight, right? Thesis, conclusions. So given the foregoing, there are but a few conclusions that can be drawn from the evidence. A, given the final luminosity of maximum 4.5 lumens at a measured distance of 1.65 kilometers, the reaction by the subjects was identical to the initial 800 lumens at 100 meters we began with. B. In scrutinizing reactions at varying light levels, page 6, 8c, and proportionately increased distance, the absolute low light we successfully applied was 4.5 lumens. Fortunately, due to continued use of candle power, candela, page 17, 4a, we can make comparisons easier. Mean spherical candle power, page 19, 6. C. Using that formula, we can safely say the final luminosity level was approximately 1/3 of 1 candela, 33% of 1 candle power. D. Note, the night vision observation binoculars do not emit light. They only amplify ambient light. They were not used at a distance further than 100 meters or less than 97 meters. E. The final placement of the light source was at a pre-measured distance, see above, at an altitude of approximately 110 meters. There still remained ambient light, of course, from the night lighting at the north end of the power plant itself. All right, so obviously these guys are doing studies on these creatures, which they've seen dozens of times at the nuclear plants. That's where they're doing this study. These things are there so common, and they're giving up their presence to these people at these nuclear facilities, not even trying to hide it. Long enough they're doing studies on them. Get back to E. The final placement of the light source was at a pre-measured distance, see above, at an altitude of approximately 110 meters. There still remained ambient light, of course, from the night lighting at the north end of the power plant itself. Originally, we didn't think it relevant. We realized it actually is. F. Light sources were at all times hidden inside a box painted matte black made from 3/4-inch marine plywood. The manual flash of light was held for less than 1/10 of 1 second. Read that again. The manual flash of light was held for less than 1/10 of 1 second. At every distance and every light power force, the reaction of the subject was nothing less than instant. We chose 3 separate nights, commencing each experiment at 2 a.m. Page 18, A, B, and D. Available light was measured and was within the limits we set. We have referred to them as a family unit. Page 2, 7, and 13, and 19, C and D. We got accurate sizes from pre-placed calibrated posts. Subject 1 measured 3.01 meters. 9 foot 10.9 inches. Subject 2 measured 2.56 meters. 8 foot 4.78 inches. So it's 8 foot 4.78 inches. Subject 3 measured 1.93 meters. That's 6 foot 3 inches. That's 6 foot 3.98 inches. Subject 4, see below, simple conclusion. Even at the longest distance, 1.65 kilometers, using F above, all 3 subjects instantly reacted to our light sources by a slight turn of their bodies and a long stare in our direction. The larger one stared longer and also reacted 4 separate times to a wave of my hand in complete darkness. And at the final level, continued. The larger one stared longer and also reacted 4 separate times to a wave of my hand in complete darkness. And at the final level. That's at 1.65 kilometers. You guys picking up what this study's putting down? Holy shit. This is freaking amazing, but it does tend to answer a lot of questions. Amazing. The larger one stared longer and also reacted 4 separate times to a wave of my hand in complete darkness from 1.65 frickin' kilometers away. Yeah, try sneaking up on that dude. Banging on the trees and whooping in the nights. Oh. All right, here we go. See also Gen 1A, Gen 7A, APP-23F22. It's obviously going back in their previous chunk of 22 pages. Conclusions continued. Given the repetitive nature of each element and uniformity of tests, to the best of our ability, we believe our conclusions to be as accurate as one can possibly get in arriving at the conclusions. As mentioned, page 19, CE, the 4th specimen observed, was not taken into our calculations. Our calibrated posts were set at a maximum height of 4 meters from ground level, and this subject, reference the dog-faced being, shown in notes, page P19, whilst arriving on all fours, measured 1.59 meters, that's 5 foot 2.6 inches at shoulder level. When he stood up next to subject 1, we could not obtain a further measurement as he exceeded the pole height, 4 meters, by a substantial margin. What the F? Want me to read that one more time? When he stood up next to subject 1, we could not obtain a further measurement as he exceeded the pole height, 4 meters, by a substantial margin. My general feeling is one of amazement. I've itemized what I believe to be general abilities. These juveniles have such an acute night sight ability as to be absolutely stunning. It's quite clear that they have a binocular vision that permits them to move around on the darkest of nights, perceiving their surroundings as well as an average human is able during the middle of the day. Their eye coloring in low or zero light conditions varies according to conditions. The red eye shine they emit is clearly a powerful beam of infrared light or similar. This again clearly indicates an ability to perceive and be aware of their surroundings in zero light conditions. Part of their spectrum clearly uses light gathering capability, and a contra indicating shows that what we perceive as visibility, such as car headlights, can temporarily blind them. In all other lighting conditions, they supersede our ability by a proverbial mile. Put simply, they see in the dark as well as we do on a bright day. They also pick up the lowest light level we used, as if a searchlight was shone at them. You picking that one up? They also pick up the lowest light level they used, as if a searchlight was shone at them. We're talking 1.65 kilometers, right? In fact, it confirms what we thought, that our IR camera lights, barely visible to humans, they see from a distance of more than a kilometer. Hence, trying to capture behavior by use of a hunting/trail camera will be seen by them as we see a 20 million candle power searchlight. Put simply, they know we capture them on our security cameras. Okay, got that? I'm going to read that one more time. I find this as interesting as it gets for me and my puzzle. Okay, you guys? Hence, trying to capture behavior by using a hunting trail camera will be seen by them as we see a 20 million candle power searchlight. Put simply, they know we capture them on our security cameras. And this is the first time, I'm going to bust out here for a second. I've had numerous people who are not connected in any way, professionally or personally, have shared with me that these things have been looking, up at their cameras inside the security perimeters of nuclear facilities. Blatantly standing there looking up at them into the cameras. Numerous, okay guys? Numerous. Note, further details to be delivered on this curious, quote, dog-faced cryptid, end quote, following publication. Much to learn of this creature, not all of it favorable. We'll complete and distribute those findings ASAP, full index, TBF pages 24 to 25. There you go. That is what I have received from my hero, one of my few people that I consider a true hero, Edgar Jenkins. You are a hero of mine, man. You are a huge hero of mine. And that's one of the latest submissions from him to the Roundtable of Knowledge to all of you through me. There you go. So, take from it what you will or leave it. There's more coming. I don't know what more we can do for people. I mean, I have been back and forth with Edgar for over a year now, I think. It's been over a year, hasn't it? Maybe more. Possibly more. I know who he is. I know where he worked. I know what his wife's name. I know what his son's name. I know where he lived. I know where he met his wife. We know what happened to him. And he obviously isn't in these Bigfoot Sasquatch circles, public circles at all. He doesn't even know who that loser moneymaker is, right? He didn't know who David Pilatus was, right? Currently, right now. Didn't have a clue who David Pilatus was. Obviously, Edgar does not hang out online in the online world, right? And he also, I'm very curious about why Edgar really was insisting I have a personal locator beacon, because that comes from Dave to me all the time, and Dave also delivers that to all you. But Edgar delivered that to me in caps lock without being familiar with David Pilatus. So he knows something else, and I want to know what he knows. And he is going to share with us more. All right? So, other than, I don't know, what more can we do? Do we need to put every single person watching this video in the same room as Edgar? Would that help you out more? Or do you want to be inside the nuclear facility watching these things bouncing around the outside of the perimeter and jumping in and out of it and staring up at the frickin' CCTV screen? And then getting back to the nuclear missiles being activated. That's not the first time we've heard of this. You can do a little digging. This is not the first time we've heard of this happening through this email through Edgar. It's been reported of strange forces shutting down, eliminating the power to nuclear warheads being armed. Pretty bizarre, right? There's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on where we live today. I guess it always has been, but I guess we apparently can't handle the truth. Some handful of other human beings that figure they can have decided that we can't. Well, I'm here to tell those people that they can ram themselves up their asses. They're only human beings. They were born babies to mommies and daddies, and they grew up however they grew up. However we all grew up, we're all the same. We're all equal. No matter who's listening to me right now, what qualifications you have, how well trained you've been trained to kill human beings, it doesn't matter. What it boils down to, you are one of us and there's no way out of it. You're just a human being when it comes down to the bottom line. And somehow you've been convinced that a lot of other human beings out there actually not quite as equal as you are, and that you have the right to withhold all of this honest information and keep it away from the majority of the human beings. Why? I don't know. Do I respect that? No. Do I respect you people that withhold the information from all the people? Not a bit. Not the slightest, tiniest butt hair. Not an ounce of respect for any of you. Nothing. Do those people intimidate me? Not the slightest. So, we're all going to keep digging nonstop, and we're going to share. And more Edgars are going to come forward, and they're going to share with the people, without a doubt. Without a doubt. There you go. I'm so tired, you guys. Oh, I'm so tired. I don't feel like I've slept in days, but I don't know. You get that road frazzle when you do a road trip? You get frazzled, and it was an absolute piss and rain. Can't see anything on the highway, pitch black, and the wind blowing the truck and the trailer sideways the whole way home. So I'm just done. I'm frazzled. And there you go. I promised to share what I received. Shared it. Do with it what you will. Take it or leave it. Blowing a gasket on this channel in the comment section or emailing me your displeasure isn't going to do fuck all for you, all right? Get a grip of your emotions. Start thinking for yourself. Learn from the people. And concentrate on your own puzzle. All right? That's all you got. You got your own puzzle. And it's up to you to fill in those missing pieces. And as soon as I get more pieces that I feel that many of you may benefit from, I'm going to get them straight to you as fast as I can. So there. I can't wait for Edgar to either... I think he's going to mail me a bunch of stuff in the mail, I believe. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to his colleagues getting a hold of me and sharing what they know through me so I can share with all you guys. And then we're going to get a pile of answers, questions answered. And hopefully most of you understand the significance of this thesis that he just shared with us, that a scientist studied on those nuclear plant grounds. And that is absolutely something else, isn't it? That they use the absolute most minimum light source to observe those beings 1.65 kilometers away, and the biggest one reacted with all 4 of his hand motions with his bare frickin' eyeballs at 1.6. I'm getting that's got me getting I got goosebumps from that one. Kind of freaks me out a little bit, but that thing did that thing saw his hand move in the pitch black at 1.65 kilometers away. How amazing is that? And the statement that he made about what it equals for our simple brains to wrap around. An easy way to describe it is our trail cameras look like, was it 20 million, 2 million candle power, whatever the hell the number was. That's what our trail cameras look like to these beings. It's millions of candle power spotlight is what our trail cameras look like to these beings. And meanwhile, I think most of us understood that. The majority of us understood that our game cameras aren't good enough, right? A lot of people say, there's so many damn game cameras in the world, what the hell? Cell phones? Well, obviously our game cameras aren't good enough. That's what people got to understand is we're not good enough. Our trail cameras aren't good enough. And this absolutely confirms it. But meanwhile, our American military pilot who sent us his experience of blasting that thing with the IR from how many frickin' kilometers away, and he said that thing saw the IR flash like that and reacted to it, and that freaked him out. And that was, for me, was absolute confirmation about what our trail cameras do to these things. Nothing. Our trail cameras look like a glowing frickin' ball of sunshine in the forest. Every single one of them. So there you go. There's our answer to the trail camera phenomenon, right? There you go. There's your answer. I wonder what that's gonna suck though. I mean, if you're one of those people who are absolutely obsessed with trying to prove Sasquatch exists, I guess gotta prove it. I've got 50 trail cameras out. I've hidden them perfectly this time. Well, this thesis share from this scientist studying these things firsthand Oh, it's got to be a bit of a kick to the nuts for the people who have convinced themselves that they are setting trail cameras perfectly. They know how to set the trail cameras to get these things caught on trail camera, right? Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. That's how you learn, by failure. We cannot move ahead or learn or get better unless we fail. That's all there is to it. That's whether or not you can accept the fact that you may have done something that's actually a fail, so that you can go on instead of just staying there and thinking, hey, I'm going to do it differently this time. 10 years later, I'm going to set these trail cameras way better this time. 20 years later, you're dead. You spent your whole life concentrating on trail cameras. Now I'm really babbling, aren't I? Too tired. Shouldn't even be in front of the camera right now. But anyway, there you go, you guys. There's a very big share. Lots of people are going to scoff. Lots of people are going to laugh. Doesn't matter. But I know the majority of you people out there who are looking for those answers, you're probably going like this. No way. Holy shit. That's what I'm doing. Gave me goosebumps, for God's sakes. So, obviously, I trust Edgar without a doubt, and I do. Can I dictate to you people to trust Edgar? Of course not. You go with your gut instincts, you go with your intuition, you figure it out for yourself. You're on your ride. I'm on my ride, and my ride says that Edgar Jenkins is one of my few living heroes today. That's how I feel about it. All right, enough babbling. I gotta go. The Owlman emailed us again. The Owlman emailed us with a lengthy holy shit email. Maybe I'll get that one out tomorrow, possibly, and a handful of other ones. We'll see. I'll be back. Keep digging. Keep digging. All right? Get in tune with your sixth sense. Get in tune with your intuition. And absolutely chop mainstream news off if you want to advance in the real world. All right? Later.
Well, of course, on a backpack sheep hunt, you can always expect to have a curious neighbor come and walk behind your tent at nighttime. It's common. And something to always keep in the back of your mind. There's our tents right there. And this guy went right behind the tents, right behind camp, checked us out. Carried on his way. Nice big bear.